Google just dropped the November core update and it's already causing chaos in the SEO world. As usual, there are many sides in this story. There's businesses going up, businesses going down, angry people on Twitter, a whole load of misinformation, panic, angst, and people who are just simply throwing their hands in the air. The update is still rolling, yet site owners are already seeing some significant ranking fluctuations, and many are worried about the traffic dropping right before the holiday season. You know, where people lose all control of the primary impulses and shop like there's no tomorrow. Yours truly here, having waited a couple of days after the announcement, so I don't fall into the trap of making a vapid, should have been a tweet type of 20-minute long video, have now had time to analyze real-time data from client sites from Monday when the announcement of the update came up until this very morning on Saturday. I've looked at general social media reports, industry coverage of the update, and I can now give you a high-level summary of what's changing, what is not changing, who's been affected the most, and of course, most importantly, what can you do about it to protect your rankings. Let's dive right in. Hi everyone, this is Alejandro Mayahans. In November 11th, Google started rolling out the third core update of 2024. Because of course, the results must always be optimized, even though that might mean breaking search in every conceivable way, like it just happened in early March. And then they had to undo it in August in light of the algorithm being leaked in June. Yes, it has been quite a year for SEO. This time they say it's going to take about 2 weeks to fully implement. This is particularly important because this update is happening right before the holiday shopping season. And so if you want to know what to expect, this is what this video will deliver. We're going to cover what we know about the update so far, private data from our agency showing 4 different businesses that we've analyzed, and just today we have fresh data that is exclusive insights that I've not seen anyone else on YouTube or anyone else cover, as well as action steps that you can take to protect your rankings. And of course, what should you expect in the coming weeks? So let's look at what Google has officially told us about this update. So as you see in this announcement on Twitter, they say that we released the November 2024 core update, blah, 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 people going bananas. It's not specifically targeted to destroy remaining small publishers, right? This is an important point. I'm going to cover something that happened over the year. From this dust, we shall collect this mud, as we say in Spanish. So let's have a look at what the official statement is. This started rolling on November 11th at 1:30 in the afternoon. If you go here for the details of the core update, this is quite useless because it doesn't tell you how Google really works. It tells you what they would like you to do. And if you've been paying attention to Google over the last few years, you know that those things rarely translate into actual better rankings. I will show you in this video exactly what it does, and it's a subject that Google always refrains to talk about because, well, it just works, so why would it tell you? Right? So they say, how do core updates work? We change a bunch of things and maybe the results get better, maybe they don't. And if they get really bad, we might flip it back like it happened in August, right? Actual valuable information on this page is A, confirm that this is finished. Don't make knee-jerk reactions while it happens. Compare the right dates, look at the before and after, and then look at whatever dropped dramatically. Hey, if you drop from 2 to 4, there's no need for drastic action. In fact, we avoid that you do anything. But myself, as a professional SEO, I will advise you to get your hands in some data and see who is now number 1 so that you can do whatever they did, mind you. And if you go from 4 to oblivion, then, you know, figure out what happened. Things to keep in mind when making changes. Don't do quick fix. Consider how you can improve your content in meaningful ways. I will show you in this video custom GPT that I developed that will allow you to do that very easily using Google's own documentation on what a helpful content looks and doesn't look like. I'll show you that later. And deleting content is a last resort. Well, okay. So that's what they say. Not very useful. Let's look at what the search engine results pages actually have to say. The proof is always in the pudding. Here we have 4 different industries that we've analyzed. This one that you see in here is an e-commerce client, an actual link building client that we've been working through this year to increase the strength of their website. Then we have a local business, a digital services business, and an agency. Number one, this e-commerce client, what are they about? I can't tell you the niche, obviously, but I can tell you what. This is an analysis from September after the last core update. And our client was ranking here número 2. For reference, the DR at this point was a DR 40. This is what I would like you to notice. The vast majority of competitors that we were facing were low DR sites, and then we had this monstrous competitor here, the DR 73, right? And none of these guys had links at the page level. What we did is we built a lot of links, not targeting this keyword specifically, but at the homepage level, targeting the brand. Very important. We did build some inner page links to support them because there was 0 gap. So we thought, okay, there's no gap. So let's support this page with 1 link. And you will see the difference now. And I would like you to take a wild guess of what happened to these clients. Data from yesterday that I'm about to show you in the next slide. 3 months later and about a month and a half after we built links. Number 1, God bless. Now, this is the most important change. The guys that used to be number 3 are now number 2. Right? This guy is number 3 and this guy is number 4. This is what I want you to notice here is this change. I've blurred the URL for obvious reasons, but I'm keeping this flow so you see that this is the same guys as before. Okay, and now these guys don't have all zeros. These guys are actually doing page level link building as well. These 2 guys are hyper narrow competitors. This is key takeaway number 1, width of your brand. These 2 guys are very narrow. Our client is wide. They went from a DR42 to a 43. Okay, minor change, nothing important. This is what matters, right? These 2 competitors are hyper narrow. So they can win. They're becoming winners. They're going up, even if they have low DR. And the guys that we saw before are out because there were also wide competitors. Our client is a wide competitor. Okay, they sell this product and probably 2,000 other ones. Everything within the same general industry, let's say home goods. But these 2 guys, they only sell this. That's the main thing, and it's on the brand. As you can see, it says ba blah 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 and ba blah, right? Whatever that ba is. And this guy says the broader idea of that ba, right? So hyper narrow, narrow, wide. What are we learning from this? Because remember, before, since the before, we had a wide competitor, another wide competitor, the same kind of narrow-ish competitor. This was number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So number 4 has jumped now to be number 2, right? And these 2 guys are out. Nowhere to be seen, too weak, no links. Take this information as you please. Now let's look at another keyword from the same guys. So our client was number 7. This guy was number 1, number 2, number 3. Notice this, ultra high DR websites. Narrow result, wide result, wide result. Ultra strong brands with links at the page level for an e-commerce. Those links are actively being built. You don't acquire them organically. We don't count any crappy forum citation links, all of that we discounted. So these values here are real links. However, pay attention to something else. Our client, like I said, is a DR42 at this point, and he's actually been building links at the page level because he's smart and he knows that links win the game. So with all of these links, he's still only number 7 behind behemoths that are very strong at the brand level. I'm sure you're getting the gist of it. Very strong at the brand level, but weak at the page level. Page level weak, page level weak. Our guys are page level strong. Page level strong. Something else, a little challenge that this client is going to have, things that I don't see anyone talking about. This client, which is previously in building, the one that produced this as well as other zero value links, has a lot of partial match anchor text, so he's over optimized. Exact same client as of yesterday, up 3 positions. God bless, very good. DR43, like I said, a little bit stronger. Built a lot of branded links. Very important, lots of branded links to the homepage, just to bring that home again. What are we seeing here? Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. These two guys we've seen before. This is why the name is there. This guy is new. This guy is new. DR58 has managed to claim this position number 1, 2, and 3. This guy has managed to claim position number 2 with active link building and a very strong website. DR58 is not to be ignored. That's a very strong website. And we see that they are doing branded links, increasing the brand signals. So what can we extract from this? I'm going to go one by one. There's 3 core things that I take from this, and I'll show you what they are. But the first one is, of course, higher brand signals. Let's jump into the other 3 cases, and I'm sure you'll be able to put the other 2 together by yourself. So this is a fresh analysis. This guy is not a client. He just bought a report a couple of days ago. This is web development in City. I've just obviously blurred the City out of protection of his data. Was paid for the data. And he's done a lot of work. Now, this is the homepage. So he's built a bunch of links to the homepage. This client that requested the report has a DR of 48. And is number 9, as you can see, and is facing very tough competition, 56, 69, 90. Now, you tell me, in what universe can we deny what we're seeing here? Because we're seeing 2 homepage. As you can see, it's a very short URL. There's home. That's a homepage too. And this is an inner page. Why is this important? Comparable competitors. These 2, competitor number 1 and 2, are actually comparable to our clients that we want to help rank at the top, right? Move from 9 to 1. It's already very clear that we're going to need more links. It's quite undeniable. But what's more important, and I've already mentioned this, is this bit here. Look at the anchor text distribution of all of these links that the competitors are getting at the page level. The raw numbers, you need to take into consideration that while the numbers here only account for good links that actually matter, so links that come from websites that have traffic, that are legitimate, that don't have weird manipulation, not citations, not forums, not no follow links that don't matter. We look at the real sites. They have this many. However, for your anchor text distribution, every single links matter. This is something that a lot of people ignore. I don't see anyone talk about it. I don't know why. Maybe they don't spend the time looking at the data. I really don't know. What we see as undeniable here is big brand signals again. But this is the other bit. What is truly important is this bit here. 0. A big fat 0. Exact match. A lot of people that get links, they get greedy. They don't know that this is not 2010 anymore. And they say, what is my brand about? Let's say this is web development in City. My anchor text should say web development, web design, web whatever, web this, web that, with the city. So not only they get greedy with the keyword, they get greedy with the location. Now, Google is too smart. I'm sorry. They know that if an anchor text says emergency plumber 24 hours San Diego, nobody would ever write that on a piece of content. So having your keyword plus location, this is an absolute no-go. I'm going to show you another example. This is a something agency. What they do is less important than the fact that they do more things. As you can see here, this is a long URL. This is a DR28 website, and they're ranking nowhere to be seen. Understandably, because everyone else at the top has a lot more substance. And again, same case, we have a wide competitor, our client, trying to outrank a hyper narrow competitor, because there's many variations of this question mark here. This, as you can see, is a short URL. This is the homepage. That's all this brand does. This guy is also wide, about the same width, meaning they cover the same general industry. And this is another homepage, another narrow competitor. Point number 2 of what we're learning from this data is that narrow wins. Now, it doesn't have to win for everything, and there is a way to effectively fight against this if you are a wide competitor, but you have to accept that the reality is that Google is favoring narrow results and then very strong results. So you have to become as strong as you are wide. There's no longer publishing thousands of pages, having no links and ranking for everything. That's what they launched the March update for. Sorry, that train has passed. Another analysis that we just done. Broad competitor, they serve this valley. This is service. This is location, right? Obviously the location is somewhere there. This client has a DR20. He could outrank all of these guys, but because this is a homepage and they exclusively serve that valley with exclusively that service, they don't do anything else. The client does more services and thus more places. Also, these guys conveniently have done a little bit of link building, so I have a little bit of support. And just to finalize driving the point home, not only does this guy have a stronger website, they also have more links. So the client will have to build a ton of links at the page level and increase this number here. One last time, in case that on the previous slide I wasn't clear enough, zero exact match. This is the competitors, zero nada brand. So the last thing that we'll end here is anchor text. Anchor text is related to this. It can also become a brand signal. It can also be a demoting thing if you use the wrong one. Now I want to show you a widely known case in the world of SEO of a website that got obliterated in March and happened to have a good recovery in August. Not to the top level where they were before the helpful content update. I'm going to cover what helpful truly means in regards to this update, so you know what to do. And what happened to them and why do I think they recovered based on the data that I just shown you? The website in particular is HouseFresh. If you've seen some of my previous videos, you know who they are. They did a piece around here, some point before the update, talking about what was going on here because they were doing way better before the helpful content update and then they got hit. The piece produce the following result to them. I want you to pay attention to this spike here in the blue referring domains. Okay, this is when the piece went out in February. Look at this jump there in referring domains from 1,000 to 60% increase of the backlink profile in days, and then it's sustained gloriously ever since. Very strong correlation between this humongous growth in backlinks and then the potential recovery in September. Now, of course, but I want to show you what happened. When we come here to Best Buy links, you can clearly see that they have this David against Digital Goliath. This is the piece that went out before the update. And then this is the piece that went out after the update when they finally lost all their traffic. Just see how many referring domains they got. 1,600 plus between these two pieces combined, greatly outdoing any work they had done previously over the course of a very long time to the homepage, which only accrues in both versions, HTTP and non-HTTP, about 1,000 plus links, and then all the other pages. But in combination, you see that it will take, you know, the best 5 pages of all time to compare what 2 pages of really, really good digital journalism analyzing what's going on with Google have really done. So something that was interesting is when I was seeing all these links and I saw the site not recover, I made a prediction when a big update comes along, if they fix the other fundamental things, they will do very well. Now, you might be tempted to believe that digital PR is therefore the solution to all your maladies. We just got picked up by Entrepreneur in a piece that we did on this very subject that you can check here, where we've done some calculations based on our experience and what we know from the industry. Mind you, all I do is this. All the people I speak with are SEOs and people that run building agencies. So I know how much digital PR can get to cost. And this is a summary of the numbers. If you have an amazing story, you can still expect to pay about $400 to $500 per link. Okay, so I think that by now you already get the gist of what's cooking. So I want to give you the TLDR of my conversation with this client last night, and it goes as this. 1, build more links. I could say it louder, not clearer. Build more links and focus on your homepage and do brand anchors. Okay, that is point number 1. Make your brand stronger. There is an ancillary reason for this, and it's called the 7-11-4 rule. 7-Eleven is a place where you can get fantastic ham and cheese toasties when you're in Thailand for the next SEO conference, but it's also the first 2 parts of this. 7 hours of content. This is why I make long videos. Across 11 interactions. An interaction is anything from watching one video, seeing one ad, seeing one search result, right? It can be many things. And at least 4 locations. So if you want to have 4 locations, how do you maximize your chances for these 11 touch points and this 4 locations idea? You get featured in a lot of places, which then of course means that every single link that you build is an additional location, is an additional website, and is an additional touch point. If I see your brand mentioned in somewhere like Entrepreneur, I'm gonna be like, oh, I heard that guy, I saw him on YouTube. What else did I tell my client? Start running ads. 1, social media. They already run ads, but basically I told them go multi-platform. So TikTok, go to IG, Meta, right, and go to Twitter. Why? Because of the 4 locations, right? We want to optimize for that magic number. I also told him run ads in search because of the same. I see an ad for a keyword, then I see you ranking for an organic keyword in a different place, but also because of the idea of brand. Google uses search ads to know if you're a real brand or not. That helps. Some of the sites that got affected by the largest degree on the March update were sites that have tons of pages, maybe tons of backlinks, were getting loads of backlinks because of that AI and artificially powered type of content, but had 0 branded searches. And that is one of the clearest signs that a site is not a brand, it's just a content play. And Google has been actively demoting content plays. They are favoring, like I said, strong brands with hyper narrow, hyper local results. So they're an undeniable good answer. They don't want to serve you a broad answer on a broad site with loads of content that maybe is good, maybe not. They want to remove the maybe. They remove the maybe by showing you very strong websites with real world presence, with very strong brand signals, and then they're happy showing you a broad result because, hey, it's a household name. You want to become a household name. That's what will make you kill it in SEO. And that's how you also make your SEO become a good integrated piece of the larger marketing puzzle. So then when an update comes along, you don't have to panic because you've done your work. The 3rd place, and I'm sorry, that was a bit misleading because it's also a search, is in other search engines. 3rd and most important thing that I told him is you have this target page and a lot of surrounding pages that are ancillary to your target page, right? You want to go and you want to optimize the content of all of them. Give them a fresh run through Surfer SEO, Page Optimizer Pro, whatever software you're most confident with. But by all accounts, use a proper on-page SEO software and run them through that. Get them very sharp, very optimal, and get all the other pages on the site that are doing nothing and analyze them aggressively and see if they stay alive or not. Maybe you have to remove them and just make these guys very strong and make your site narrower and not wider, because wide dilutes what your brand is about, because now your brand is about too many things. Now, if you're curious to see what you can actually do to make your page better on top of running it through an on-page SEO service, you can just dump your URL here, and this content quality rater is on my website, alecmayahands.com, and it's free to use. Of course, it's on ChatGPT. Just dump your URL and says, hey, assess the EAT of this page against the content quality guidelines from Google themselves. This is going to cross-reference against Google documentation, which is uploaded as part of the training of this bot. And that way will tell you, hey, this is all your website is missing in terms of EEAT. EEAT is, can I trust this brand or not? You see how everything ties together. This is all there is. There's only 5 things to SEO. It's your technical SEO. Does the site work? It's your content. Does this help? It's your links. Is this site legit? Is this mentioned from multiple places? Can I trust? Is there enough references of this site on the internet to believe that it is then a brand? And if so, do the user engagement metrics, the Chrome data, the time on page, the pages per session, how many shares, all these different things validate that that is matter of fact true? That was on the algorithm leak in June. I hope this helps. If you're struggling with this update, don't wait until things get uglier. Book a call with our team using the link in the description box of this video. So that's a wrap for today's video. I am curious to know, how is your site doing? And most importantly, what industry are you in? I'd like to crowdsource this further data gathering. So leave a comment below and tell us how you're doing so we can continue to learn more about these update results as they go together and act accordingly. Thank you very much for watching, and God bless.